Welcome back to Save the Pumpkins podcast. This is Amy.
And this is Shane.
Welcome back. We are reviewing
2020.
2020, yes, Sweet Autumn, starring Nikki DeLoach as Maggie and Andrew Walker as Dex.
We're starting to kind of like her. She's showing up in quite a few.
I'm a fan of hers, and I
Yeah,
really am a fan of his.
she seems like a real person. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
Once again, it's that they just have that natural chemistry with their
Absolutely. Yeah, they believe like they could be a couple.
not a coworker. What's the word?
I don't know. What do you mean?
What's the word? Not a coworker, but their natural chemistry with.
No, now we have to figure it out. We can't go any further until we figure this out. What do you?
No, like it's not like it's the other actor. It's their what?
I don't know. Chemistry. You already said chemistry.
Okay, well I'll think about it and I'll let you know when it comes to
That's
mind.
gonna bother me.
So we start out in the past with two little girls that are being cared for by their Aunt Dee, who
D.
makes candies.
Mhm.
And we see them at an autumn festival.
Shocking.
Then in the present, Maggie, who is a businesswoman and making deals with owners to expand their baking business.
Yep. She's meeting with some lady that wants to make her. I can't remember what it is, candies or cookies or something. And she's meeting with her ex. They're business partners now. He's
Mhm.
very nice though. You never get the sense from the start of the thing that he's going to be a problem or a conflict, a love triangle deal. He's just kind of funny. What was that guy's name?
Michael
Yeah,
Carl
plays
Richards.
Jonathan. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's good. He's funny.
But then sadly, Aunt Dee has passed away,
Yep, they learned she has. Yeah.
and she gets called back to the place for the funeral and for the reading of the will.
Hmm.
And
So we're going to
finds
bring the
out,
joy right into the show. We're going to read a will. That's real upbeat.
yeah. Well, I mean, kind of works out in the end, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
gotta keep the faith. But she finds that she is she inherits half of Dee's
Mm.
candy shop.
Dee leaves her half.
But then we find out that Dee has then also left the other half to Andrew Walker's character Dex.
Yep.
And so thus starts the
Yeah, so she left. She was one of the little girls, obviously, that we got in the beginning, and she left and went to work into town. And Dex was. We learned later he was. She kind of cared for him like he were her own after his mother passed away. So he's been in town with Aunt D while she left and kind of went back, into the city doing her thing. Everybody's got to come back to a small hometown. We know that.
right, and it doesn't her I think her profession is sort of like franchising or
Yeah, yeah.
growing businesses
That
for people and
it's clear from the beginning that the conflict is going to be that she wants to make it Aunt D's Candies a business
right, like a
like a
conglomerate.
yeah. I don't think she goes quite into the like the evil capitalist role or whatever, but she definitely wants it to be to expand, and of course he wants it to be more hometown because that's where he stayed.
Right.
Right.
And so, and he helps his dad, I believe.
On the farm, yeah, they
Mhm.
never really. Oh, it's a tree. It's a tree sap. They get sap out of trees. He's got a little side hustle of
Maple
maple
syrup.
syrup, yeah, and he treats it like a side hustle, and the dad's like, oh, this is pretty good. You should make some of this, and he's like, nope, I'm just giving it away. It's not a.
And I think she tries to get him to try to sell it too. Try to
Ye-
help brand it
yeah,
and market it and stuff
yeah,
like that.
sort of, yeah. Just
So
him and his dad. Yep, yep.
they start to work together and they decide that
She's gonna try to
they're gonna
do a little shakedown.
well, yeah, but they're gonna the part of the thing that's gonna ultimately, make them decide is they decide to every year at the festival make a new
A
candy
new
brand,
candy.
like
It
ingredients come
almost doesn't even
together,
come into play until the very end of the movie, but yeah.
and each one of the candies was always in a certain wrapper that had a saying in it, right? So
Some
kind of
fortune
like
cookie silly
like a
saying, yeah, it's
Chinese
really
fortune
terrible.
cookie,
Yeah,
but in a
it's
wrapper.
awful.
Well, as the show goes on, we learn that Aunt Dee had left both Maggie and Dex envelopes and said at the start of the festival, day one, two, three,
To
four,
open on each
open
day
open
or
on each
whatever.
day
Yeah.
as labeled, and it sort of is Aunt D coming back to
It's kind of creepy.
reunite
Yeah.
them and have them remember things of their past that inspired them, or you know appreciate, like just kind of like smell the roses kind of thing.
Yeah. So they start kind of hanging out and going to dinner together, and talking about his ex-girlfriend, and they go fishing. It's kind of strange, but they start to get closer and kind of reveal their history. I think that's kind of another common trope in all of these movies is where they will talk about their exes and why it didn't work out. We'll get to that in Love on a Limb in a minute. They talk to their exes and why things didn't work out. So they just grow close. And don't you remember we laughed at this one because I'm telling you guys, when you watch this movie, they have the most what's that catalog with all the LL Bean or whatever, like
Hmm.
everything looks so. Don't you remember, this is the one where I was like, where are they? They're outside in this staged fall area. That's nobody's house. Nobody has a house that looks like an LL Bean catalog, and if they do, it's crazy. It's really crazy, but they keep talking to each other. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
And so, towards the end, of the festival and the envelopes, I'm trying to remember the key. What what?
So the thing, the conflict is what I think it was what I was saying earlier. She's trying to kind of shake him down a little bit like the Harvest Moon thing where Jesse Hutch was gonna like shake down what's her name, Jesse Scram, and kind of get her to quit or whatever. She was going to basically try to get him to give up his half of the business initially, but then when they start falling in love or whatever, that becomes a nonsense thing. But the boyfriend that's her business partner back in town, back in the city, has no idea that she's fallen in love. So he shows up at the end and is like, "Hey, is this the other owner? I think I've got something that'll make you happy since you're trying to buy him out, kind of thing." And of course that upsets him greatly because he thinks they're falling in love, and then and then uh, and then she kind of has to apologize. He goes off and he's like, "You know what? I thought we were something special, but I'm just gonna sell you my half of the business. That's fine."
But what was the part about the key though? He was given a key and then
He
he
well,
loses the
so
key
he was given a key in his like last letter,
to
and
unlock.
yeah, and she was given a like the little the jewelry box thing. Don't you remember a key in a jewelry box
Right.
that has a keyhole on it? Like, I mean, we know where we're headed, right? So he's like all pouty, and he goes off to his little spot. That's another LL Bean catalog moment in the woods at a little cabin that can't exist. But he goes off there, and so they can make it more fall. And he loses the key like a dope, right? And she's like, "Oh my gosh, she was giving you letters. She was giving me letters too. You lost the key. I've got this box that the key would fit perfectly in." He goes, "Well, Aunt D, she would definitely have a backup." And then they decide to go back to the store and look in her office that they've magically
Right. And it
never
was like in a
opened.
picture frame
Hmm.
or and
An
then
extra key,
right.
his extra key. And then this is the part that was just totally creepy to me. They open up the letter, and the woman from the dead is like, "Hey, I'm really glad." She was like matchmaking before she died. She was like, I think
Hmm.
they would go together well. Ugh. So she, they get the key, they open it up, and she's like, I love you both. If you found this, it means you've fallen for each other or whatever silly thing. And I want you. I always trusted in your maple syrup making decks. Why don't
And then she was made some of
he
her.
he made his a maple syrup inspired piece of candy. Yeah, I feel like I've taken this one way too much because you don't remember it as well as that is, do you?
Yeah, so in the end, they go to the Autumn Fest and
Yeah,
decide to work on the business together
it's friendly.
and
Yeah, it is good.
expand slowly with locally sourced
But
candy.
crucially, she's gonna stay in. Crucially, she's gonna stay in
Hmm.
town to be with him, and main man's gonna go. Her ex or whatever is gonna go in town and handle all the business or whatever. It's cute. I think the story and things in this one are is sort of nuts and silly. This is all the leads. These two leads
Hmm. Yeah,
are
I thought it was good. I would recommend
it.
watching
I
it.
would too, but but that's how good these Nikki DeLoach and Andrew Walker are, because this one is there's nothing about this that you would just go, oh, that's the that's got the funniest, greatest story ever, or anything like that. It is purely their chemistry.
And I thought it was clever that it was something related to um, going through those envelopes and just every day.
Did you?
I thought
Oh,
it was
I
different.
thought that was really
I mean, you
dumb.
got to give a little bit of credit where credit's due because these all seem to sometimes run into each other, and
Yeah, yeah,
like they have the same plot, So I like to give credit
yeah,
when
yeah. I mean,
something's different.
yeah, I guess I like it, but like I said, I like it because of the leads. They're really good. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
So,
So,
but I would recommend watching. I think we'll probably watch this one again when it rolls around. Like I said, it's got a real good fall look. And Nikki DeLoach and Andrew Walker, man,
hmm
they're friends. I think in real life, and it shows. You can tell when two people like each other, like just as friends, and they're
hmm
working together. It's just chemistry. It just helps it.
okay. Well,
Yep.
check it out. Let us know.
All right. Thanks so much,
See
guys.
you again.
Alrighty.